Welcome to the Infernal Brotherhood of the Scruffy-looking Nerf Herders. Today, I'm reading Star Wars X-Wing Rogue Squadron number 15, The Warrior Princess, Chapter 3. Some of her earliest memories are of flying. The sensation would last for only a second, but it sent such a rush through the young girl. She was never afraid, but always exhilarated, because she knew her father was always there to catch her. Nothing in her young life made her feel as good. For most of her adult life, Plourr had been flying, but now the sensation is different. She has become a fierce warrior and pilot, without peer, blasting her foes out of the air, all the while wishing for the deaths of the men who butchered her family. Yeah! Now she's returned to her homeworld, and she knew in her heart she would have to someday, even though no one would be there to catch her. That is, until now. You ride well, my count. Not many can keep up with me when I get going. So I see. I would not have thought thack riding would be a requirement for an alliance flight training. It's not. In fact, I haven't even seen a thack since I was a child. But I guess some things you just don't forget. No matter how hard you try. Princess, Plourr, I want you to know how ashamed I am of the role my father played in the death of your family. Your father was not responsible, Rial. In fact, he tried to prevent it. There is no shame on your house. Nor on you, my count. Perhaps. I only wish to ease the pain of your return in some small way. It must be difficult for you being here. All memories of this place after seeing them die. Thankfully, I never saw it, but hearing their screams was enough. I realized what was happening and ran. I guess I didn't realize that I was leaving them. Maybe if I had gone back, I could have done something. Stop. There is nothing you could have done. You are alive now, and not only can you avenge them, but save their world as well. Huh. If there ever was a world that needed saving. Poor Iatu. So many dirty hands groping you. Perhaps Count Laban's the dirtiest of all, eh? No question Laban is a concern to our cause. A hut tongue is hardly as slippery. However, the majority of the Priamsta is not as foolish. They will join us. And with you leading us, we will surely win the day. I only ask that you allow me to be at your side from now until that day comes. Your confidence in me is reassuring. I only wish that I could match it with my own. I've fought so many battles, but this... If this goes wrong, I'll have destroyed us all. And that's when the fireworks started. The imps must have lost the PLB in the swamps, so they saw us walking up. They started blasting. And that's when you called us. To save your butts. Let's see you go up against a platoon of stormtroopers with heavy weapons and ties, strafing everything that moves, and see how... Bring 'em on, Junior! Bring 'em on! Excuse me, Captain Antilles, but our appointment... In a minute, Poe. Go on, Jansen. Well, you know what happened next. You, Plourr, Count Pernon, and Hotshot there had your hands full with the ties. The rest of us were pinned down by the imps when the PLB showed up. Like a pack of screaming Roji. The next thing we knew, the imps were on the run. Yeah, it was like they realized they suddenly had something safer to do. So, what of the infamous People's Liberation Battalion? They're a dedicated bunch with no love for the Empire or the Preamsta, I can tell you. And what do they think of the Alliance? They seem to be pro-Alliance as long as we're fighting the Empire and haven't sided with the nobles. What about their leader, Plourr's brother, Haran? He's quite a man. He has his troops highly motivated and ready for combat. He seems to have this light around him, as though nothing is impossible when he's around. The PLB regulars are ready to hit the Prims hard. And he's a dedicated leader. He was out all night looking for one of his lost troops. He finally found him early this morning. The imps didn't leave much. So why didn't you report in last night? Some sort of imp jamming? No, PLB jamming. Sergeant Ashad, the trooper who led us back this morning, told me that the PLB have static generators placed all around their camp. That way neither the Prims nor the imps get a fix on their location. Say, Wedge, did you get an exit vector of those ties that ran off? Looks to me like they went deeper into the swamps. Why? Because that's the direction the imps went when the PLB showed up.
Ridiculous! The only hope this world has for peace and economic prosperity rests with the monarchy and the Preamsta. They have ruled this world for generations. Yes, but at what cost? Time and time again, the royal class has sold out its people's blood and sweat to the Empire. Haran and the PLB are Iatu's only chance for the new age of freedom. Oh, here we go again.
I don't understand how you can defend the Prims, Nirin. Look at the damage they've caused the planet. The noble class even had a hand in the death of Plourr's family. I think...
That was a long time ago, Phillies. The Preamsta totally denounces their action. The very existence of the Preamsta is to ensure that never happens again. How can we be so sure that those nobles who took part in the killing aren't members of the Prims? Why should Plourr trust them? She must, for the good of the royal house. Plourr must place her personal feelings aside.
Looks like everyone has an opinion on the situation. It doesn't make any sense for the imps to head back into the swamp unless they have something to hide in there. I think we need to take another look around those swamps. Wes, I want you to take Rogue Squadron back out there and see what you can find. You got it, Wedge. Tycho and I have a meeting with their leader of the Preamsta, and we'll be out of contact for a while. You won't get any backup this time. Don't worry, Wedge. We won't let you down. I've got a good feeling about this one. $370 kilos of precious metals, 2.5 million in Imperial notes with an encryption with all encryption codes. And lastly, 1.5 billion credits worth of Imperial bullion. What have the investigators found on the PLB attack? The investigation was inconclusive. To flee the scene with such a large amount of material, the PLB terrorists would need a Force 7 repulsor generator or a heavy transport. Yet, eyewitness accounts state that no such device or vehicle was seen. Because you can't steal what has already been stolen. Do you expect these provincials to tell our investigators anything different? I'm sure the PLB pays well for the provincials' loyalty and silence. Show me the royal repositories that have not been attacked by the PLB. Indeed, my lady. 3 royal repositories remain untouched by the PLB terrorists. Very well. Have all the wealth in those storehouses shipped here? Here? But, my lady, surely the terrorists will strike at this facility. But of course they will. And this time, when the so-called People's Liberation Battalion attack, they will have a full regiment of stormtroopers waiting for them. This time, there will be no escape. First, gentlemen, please accept my most sincere apologies for my outburst last evening. No apologies necessary. Count Laban, there are many strong opinions in the Ayatu debate. Indeed. You are a man who understands the way of things, Captain Antilles. I see this in you. Thank you, Count Laban, but I'm sure you didn't ask us here to trade pleasantries. Ah, a man who does not waste words, an excellent trait in an officer. Well then, to the point of the matter. I'm sure, my dear Captain, that you realize the importance of Yatu to the Alliance. Trade routes, a friendly port, a watchful eye over the Empire. Have you measured the goals of the Alliance and those of your former pilot, our princess, Plourr Ilo? I'm sure the Alliance is willing to work with the Yatu, whatever the outcome. Ah, but have you considered directing the outcome to your own advantage? With you in command of Rogue Squadron, combined with my personal honor guard of headhunter fighters, we could secure the political future of the planet. What? Team up with you against Plourr? Don't bet on it, you! Easy, Tycho. Count Laban, that will never happen. The Alliance cannot and will not take sides in this matter. Captain, should you not inform your superiors of my offer? I am sure the leaders of the Alliance realize that the situation on Iatu is a fluid one. One must be prepared to bend as the river changes course through the land. And who knows, perhaps our newly found princess may just decide to disappear once again. Plourr is a big girl. She can take care of herself. I think you'll find her to be more than enough to handle. But if you want to try me as well, you're making a wager that your nobility can't honor. Poe, the door. Very good, sir. Damn that rebel upstart! The PLB, or the Preamster, these are the allies I have to choose from? At least I know where the Empire stands. I know you will make the right choice. Oh, and just how do you know? Because I know you, just as every husband should know his wife. I'm not your wife! Ugh! I'm sorry, but how can you continue to hold on to these ridiculous, archaic traditions? What if I had been dead all these years, killed with my family? Who would you love then? No one. I would have died with you. Yes, I am bound by these ridiculous, archaic traditions, because they are my destiny, as they are yours. And that, my princess, is how I know so much. That is how I knew you had not died with your family, how I knew you would return to Iatu. Because it is your destiny to reclaim the throne, and it is my destiny to be at your side when you do so. I do love you, and I will marry you, and I can see in your eyes that truth is dawning on you. Doesn't it matter that I don't love you? I would prefer it, of course, but... Come quietly, princess, and you will not be harmed. Quietly, eh? I don't think so. Watch your spacing, everybody. Stay sharp. Hey, Plourr, you hear anything yet?
What? No, I don't hear a thing. Something's wrong with this place. I told you I had a very bad... Ow! Plourr, what is wrong? Yeah.
Plourr, you okay?
I think so. Felt like something was trying to slip a vibroblade through my head.
Can you make it? We could...
I'm fine. Let's move on. My head's clearing now. Well, Albert Johnson, I think you better see this.
What is that?
I've got an idea. If you allow me to do the honors.
Looks like they found one. They're in the position. Get ready.
Just as I suspected, it's a gray noise generator. Definitely an Imperial device.
Great.
But why? And why did it affect Plourr and not us? It's used to baffle the noise of large machines when you don't want to be heard. Plourr's incredible hearing was about to pick up the pulse it sends out. Ah! Shoom! Nin!
Freeze, rebel scum! Sploosh! Drop those blasters. Do it now! That man needs a medic. You can't just... Quiet, scum! I thought she wanted them all alive. What's one dead rebel more or less? Is this quiet enough for you? Crack!
Ah! Princess!
Sith-spawn!
Don't you ever touch me again! Ever!
Riel, are you all right? Just fine, my princess. How are you? Plourr! Count Pernin! Are you two all right? It's okay, Wedge. We're fine. Wow! Looks like these guys could have used your help. Niney told us that you and the Count were out riding. We got here as soon as we could. I have news about...
By royal blood!
Riel, what's wrong?
This is what is wrong.
This man is a member of the Priamsta. It is not difficult to surmise the identity of the scoundrel behind this cowardly act. Count Laban! How can you be so sure, Wedge? Because Tycho and I met with him this morning, where he proposed that Rogue Squadron join him in the fight against you.
Such treachery! I will surely send him the way of his grandfathers for this.
This was an attempt to kidnap you, Plourr. Laban knew he couldn't kill you without having the Alliance side against him. But with you in his hands, he could use you as a bargaining chip.
Do you see, Princess? Your choice is clear. You must side with PLB and your brother Haran.
You're right, Riel. I know now that I can't trust the Prims, and Count Laban must be dealt with. It would seem that my only choice is to ally myself with my brother. But the leader of the PLB is not my brother, Haran.
What? But the test, it was confirmed. The two of you are of the same bloodline.
How do you know this, Plourr? Because on that night, the night my parents and sisters were killed, on that night, I killed my little brother Haran with my own hands, and I'd do it again.
Thank you all for tuning in. We invite you to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and click the bell to get notified about our next video. Until the Infernal Brotherhood convenes again, my fellow scruffy-looking Nerf herders, may the Force be with you.